So what we're seeing in the market in Asia Pacific is this continued hunt for yield, and there's a significant amount of money that's sitting on the sidelines looking for real estate. We're also expecting more stock to come to the market to take advantage of these conditions and this continued weight of capital, because there's more buyers than sellers in the market. As a result, we're starting to see some investors expand their horizons outside of the traditional markets of Japan and Australia, where there's been a lot of activity. Korea, for example, has been very active, where we've recently completed the landmark deal of over $400 million for the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Azerbaijan. We're even seeing activity in Malaysia and New Zealand. And we're seeing strong continued activity, as I say, in those core markets of Japan and Australia. The key factors that are influencing the real estate markets at the moment is really this weight of capital, and on the other side, a lack of product in the core markets, which is pushing yields down. And with every new transaction in the markets, we're seeing a new price benchmark being achieved. We see this is likely to continue until at least the end of the year into early 2015, as people's appetite for assets, particularly those in the core markets, continues. People have long-term investment horizons, and we're seeing a flood of new capital that's looking for exposure in the Asian real estate markets. Sovereign wealth, pension funds, and new Asian insurance companies out of China and Taiwan are really making their presence felt in some of the Asian real estate markets. So what's going to happen in 2015? That's the question that everyone's asking. Well, I think for me it's going to be an interesting year, as we're starting to see people's view on the markets polarise a little. With this weight of capital pushing yields down, some people are feeling that perhaps we're closer to the end of the cycle than the start. But there is a significant amount of capital that's sitting on the sidelines, both opportunistic capital that's been raised in recent months and also new core funds that are looking to access the region. So what we'll see is they'll start to move into emerging markets. Malaysia, Vietnam, Indonesia will all see activity, but we'll start to see investors move into development and manufacture core real estate. We'll also continue to see investors looking for a niche, and operating assets will be the flavour of the month. Retail and logistics have always been a very popular asset class, but we're starting to see many investors look into the alternative sectors. Student housing, self-storage, data centres are all attracting interest, and we're seeing transactional activity in those sectors. We're also seeing investors raising money to invest in debt as a method of obtaining direct real estate exposure in Asia Pacific. So all in all, with these different views and this money that's sitting on the sidelines, we see 2015 as one of very strong transaction activity in all of the markets in Asia Pacific.